And John, don't use the Lord's name in vain
I
on
beg your
this
pardon.
holiest
I'm really, really
of
sorry.
holidays. Honestly, what's wrong with you? Hi, Tailoring Talkers. Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Roberto, and I'm joined by John and this strange person. Do you want to introduce yourself, stranger?
Oh, you may not
Oh,
recognise me. I've put on a lot of weight over the Christmas period. So
can't believe you're giving
No,
him
that's-
grief straight away at the beginning of the podcast, Bobby.
I wasn't fat shaming him. It was because he's not
Can't
been
believe
on
you.
for such a long
I know.
time.
Well, that as well.
hello,
So,
guys.
We've missed you.
despite the
haven't
fact he is the most used word on Tailoring Talk
is,
in
yeah.
2025.
we? He is, yeah.
Really? Wow,
Alex.
that's scary.
Yeah. Alex.
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 Alex. Alex. Alex.
Alex. Yeah.
I try
Exactly.
not to talk to myself in third person, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So if you are watching on YouTube, please help us out by dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, hyping this video. You can find that button underneath your video window there and give us some hype points. That always helps out the channel. And you can also check out our channel memberships if you want to support the show, get access to content before everybody else, and exclusive stuff that will be coming in the next few months. If you're listening instead, a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify would be hugely appreciated. It really does make a difference. So today's episode is a special one. We are going to wrap up 2025 by chatting through some of our favourite things from the year, across the stuff that we talk about most on this channel: movies, gaming, tech, TV shows, which we actually haven't done so much of, and we definitely need to be doing more of, boys. So this isn't a definitive best of list because I've got PTSD from last Christmas when we did our best of Bonds, and yay the internet. So this isn't a definitive best of list. It's just the things that stuck with us personally, the stuff that John, Alex, and I individually enjoyed the most, with maybe a few surprises along the way. Expect some overlap because we do talk to each other almost constantly and we do watch the same things. A few disagreements because that always happens and it makes it fun. And hopefully we will entertain you for the next hour or so. So let's get into it. We are starting with movies. John. Movie of the year. So we're gonna do favourite, and then you can have one or two honourable mentions
Sure,
because
yeah.
fully appreciate this could be a difficult one.
Yeah, the big problem for me in 2025 is I stopped going to cinemas, which we talked about before because people are terrible, and they can't go to a cinema without talking, using their phones, playing audio, mucking about, and so on. Oh, for goodness sake! So I have been waiting patiently for when films come out on Apple TV and watching them. But I think this year, I'm going to talk about it during our TV slots as well, but I think this year has definitely been the year of the horror film. I think there's been a real uptake in quality in writing horror films. And my favourite film of this year, and I've been trying to keep to 2025, because obviously we watched a lot of stuff that's a bit older, was a film called Weapons. I don't know if either of you have seen that yet.
Yes.
Not seen it.
So it is an excellent film. I can't watch horror films with anyone else in the house. I have to watch them late at night, which always adds to the anticipation of it. But I think it was such a clever, well-written film. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a film where in the first few minutes it shows at 2:17 a.m. 17 children left their house to the front door, and a lot of this gets captured on the parents' ring cameras, and they run off into the woods, are not seen again. And it's all the children from one class in a school. And the film basically follows what happened and how it happened. But the clever part of the film is that it takes loads of sort of narrative swerves. So it shows the film the same kind of couple of days from the points of view of the 4 or 5 different characters in the film. And as the film progresses, you get more and more, it drip feeds more and more about what happened to these children. And with some weirdly kind of unexpected moments of comedy in a horror film as well, I thought was really clever, without disrupting the seriousness of the story. So, really good performances from all the cast. There's a couple of people I recognise. There's the guy from Marvel films, Benedict Wong, and obviously from the IT crowd. He's in it. Josh Brolin's in it. He's very good in it as well, as one of the parents of the missing children. And it has Alden Ehrenreich as well, who was Solo in the Solo film as a police cop. There's Justin Abrams, who plays a junkie called James. Benedict Wong's the head teacher of the school. And it's got Julie Garner as the teacher of the class, who gets a lot of grief initially because they all think that she's the root of the problem. Or is she? Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. So, yeah, really, really good film. And just enough sort of scares and terror in it as well. I think it's, it's not... I watched Megan 2.0 this year, which is great fun, but not scary. But this film definitely... There's a certain amount of dread, sheer dread in this film, especially in the beginning of it as well. And as a parent, it's always terrible watching a film about kids going missing. So that's kind of pulling those emotional heartstrings as well. It's a film my wife could not watch because she hates any films where kids go missing or bad things happen to them. Bobby, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, the thing with Weapons is it's a movie, Alex, where you'll just kind of sit there and through all of it, you'll just be saying WTF every 5 seconds. And it really does a great job of putting you front of the roller coaster ride. So you're kind of experiencing it with the characters, and whilst it doesn't insult your intelligence, it certainly doesn't give anything away, and you really kind of feel like you're there with the characters as they're trying to piece together what on earth is going on. There aren't any of the main characters that have got a leg up over the audience at all, and I think that's one of the other great things about the way that film is written. And there's some fantastic performances, but I definitely recommend you check it out, Alex, for sure.
Give it a go. Film, Bobby, the one thing that wasn't kind of answered that I didn't really understand, but was quite interesting, was that there's a point in a dream sequence where one of the characters goes to where he thinks his child's walking to. Like, he follows his child in a dream to a house, and above the house is a sort of a floating AK-47 gun, a bit like you see the guns in like Quake and like Call of Duty, they're sort of floating, waiting to be picked up. And I know the film's called Weapons, but it was a very weird kind of glyph in the middle of the film. And it's never answered, is it? I know the film's called Weapons and it's a weapon, but and you can't really dig too deep into like symbology and dreams. But I thought it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't insert intelligence. It makes you think. And the ending is quite. The ending is very good. That's what I'm going to say. The ending is very good. Yeah, no spoilers.
Sorry, Alex. Which brings me on to Alex.
I'll give it a go.
Alex, Jon, any honourable mentions?
Yes,
from you?
I have to say I was rather taken by surprise I took a punt at Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which is on Netflix. I think it was out in the cinemas quite recently as well. It's a Netflix production, I guess. It took GDT 20 years to bring this film to the screens. Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi lead the cast, although Mia Goth is also in it as a character. I thought it was one of the best retellings of the Frankenstein story I've ever seen. I mean, it's obviously sumptuous because Netflix throws their cash at it, but I genuinely got quite emotionally affected by the film, and it's really cleverly. It's told as a retelling from Victor Frankenstein's point of view. When he gets picked up right at the beginning of the film, it's not a spoiler. He gets picked up on I think it's a Swedish or it could be a Norwegian icebreaker liner. They're trying to get to the North Pole, and he's at the North Pole. And it kind of, again, the whole story is drip-fed through his retelling of it from personal accounts. And Jacob Elordi's an unusual-looking Frankenstein. There's some pretty gruesome bits in it as well, which I appreciated. Like, he didn't hold back. And Mia Goth, as always, is genuinely spellbinding to watch. She's just an amazing actress. So yeah, I was really surprised at that, and it's nice to see it's on Netflix that everyone can watch. So if you haven't seen it, take a look. Yeah, it really made me think about. I mean, I've read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've read Aldous' Frankenstein Unbound. I do love the Frankenstein story. So yeah, really worth a watch, and also I think quite rewatchable as well when you watch it back again. And that's it for me. I think they're the two that stood out for me. But it's kind of horror based.
Sorry. Yeah. When Jon pauses, it's like I count backwards in my head from 3, and then if we manage to get to 1, Alex, then I can bring you in.
No, I don't worry. I will lighten the tone. So after that, I'm going to lighten the tone.
Go for it, Alex.
Okay, I think my favourite is Superman by James Gunn. I think genuine. Because the thing is, we forget this year feels like it's like a 2 or 3 years worth of stuff, but really it's just 1 year. So Superman seems like ages ago, but I'm really pleased with how it was done. I loved how much humour they injected back into it, which was great. There is some interesting sort of, what's the word, whiplash with James Gunn's cinematic style and sort of jarring of some of the things, going really deep and then massively light at one moment. But he just made it work really nicely, and I think that was one of the highlights of the year. So so I really enjoyed that. What did you guys think of Superman?
Well, I know what Bobby thought of it straight away. First thing, he loved it, didn't you, Bobby?
He was sat behind me in the cinema. He saw me like about 10 minutes in, putting my head in my hands, shaking my head, looking at the exit door, and I literally thought to myself, I never want to see this thing again. I know I'm never ever going to see it again. I absolutely hated it. I loathed it. I was so angry. I was angry at the use of the John Williams score as well, or the riff on it. I was like, how dare they do this? This film is an abomination. Worst Superman film ever. And then Carolina was away in September, I think it was, when she was away for a week. So I was left to my own devices. And then I was just sort of messing around with a few things. And then I think it was I was experimenting with those XR glasses. And so I thought, let me just see what the 3D effect looks like on the opening scene to Superman, when he lands in the ice bit and Krypto drags him off. And then something went wrong with the XR glasses that I was reviewing. And so I thought, okay, well, let's see how this looks on my OLED TV. Because it is a good looking film and it's full of colour and stuff. And then I ended up watching the whole thing. And then when then I messaged Carolina and I said, so that Superman film that I said I hated, when you get back, we need to watch it together. Because I think you'll really enjoy it. And she's like, well, why would I enjoy it when you actually freaking hated it? And I was like, no, I actually really love it now. And since then, I've seen it about 5 times. And I think it's actually my most favourite Superman film ever.
Wow. What a turnaround.
I mean, for me, the only thing that annoyed me about the film was the story of his parents. It's the only thing that I found really jarring. Great film, really enjoyed it. Probably, I don't think I love it as much as Bobby does now, but I did buy it again and rewatch it and enjoyed it a lot. So I'll probably rewatch it again. It's one of those films I need to have a bit of time in between to go back and watch it. But I'm with you, Bobby. It's a good film. Is it the best Superman film?
Oh, I don't know about that.
In our lead up to our podcast about it, I rewatched the uncut version, the Donner cut, I think it was. Is there a Donner cut, the first film? I think it might be. There's a version of the first film I watched which had all the extras Krypton sequences, which makes it about 3 hours long, and I really really enjoyed that just because it's travelling back in time. There's a certain satisfaction to watching the originals as well.
I think the first film takes it because, despite what I just said a few minutes ago, because if you look at watching it again, it's held up reasonably well, given that it's a near 50-year-old film now. And I think given the technology that they had to work with at the time, they did some things for that film that had just never been seen before. And obviously it's got that charm to it as well, but also it was quite a hopeful film as well. And that's what Superman is, if you're fans of the comics, as I was when I was a kid, I had the Superman bedspread and all the rest of it. And that's the one thing I forgot when I watched James Gunn's version. And I think that's just because we've been so used to a darker version of Superman through the 2010s with what Zack Snyder did. And there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he did at all. It's a bit like James Bond, right? It's sort of a sign of the times, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you read the comics, all of that interplanetary, fantastical creatures stuff, that's what Superman is. And we went through that period of realism, and I think it made people like me forget what he actually was. So I went back to reading All-Star Superman and things like that, and that's probably part of what helped me come round to the James Gunn version. But yeah, I'd probably still say Superman, the original with Christopher Reeves, is probably still actually the best. But this one's right up there. It's so good.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I tend to agree. But I just think it was good because there was such an anticipation over James Gunn and I
Have
think
you-
there's when expectations are set really high, that you're kind of a bit worried that things are going to go wrong, and I don't think they did. I think generally, he did the job, and it was well received, and and then all hell broke loose with Warner Brothers and all this stuff. So we're going to see what happens with that.
Seen the trailer for the Supergirl movie yet, Alex?
Yes, it looks lovely. I'm really looking forward to it.
I was a
Looks
bit
great.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they have as much character development as they do bashing people about in their trailer, because it was a very action-heavy trailer. I'm a bit worried about it being bash, 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 smash, fly around, bash, bash, smash, and not.
I feel like they're
unpacked.
probably setting that up that way because they kind
get
of
the fans
the problem with the
on side.
trailer is they have to do that. They have to show it's not heavy on character to try and get everyone else into. Whereas I don't think they would have had to do that with Superman. But I'm hoping that it's strong on character.
It's had equal amounts of love and hate online. There's not really been anyone that's in between on it from what I've seen so far. I'll fully put my hands up that although I read some Supergirl comics, but to be fair, that was around the time I was about 5 or 6 years old, and it was all related to the Supergirl movie with Helen Slater.
Oh my god, I was so in love with her, unbelievably. I had proper teenage angst about her after watching that film. Like proper crying into my pillow angst that I wasn't, it's really embarrassing. Oh god.
I was just trying to think who my biggest crush when I was a kid in
it was
the
Helen
80s
Slater.
was.
And then she was in that Michael J. Fox film, wasn't she? Oh my god.
Jennifer Connelly edged it for me.
Oh yeah, Labyrinth.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, where was I? I got distracted by Helen Slater. Oh yeah. So what it has,
We all did.
the in the run up to Millie Alcock's Supergirl, I'm gonna order the full set of the Woman of Tomorrow comics, and sort of
They're
brush
supposed to be
up
very
on.
good.
Yeah, I want to brush up on all of the other kind of characters because I didn't recognise any of them in the trailers apart from Crypto. So, yeah, but I'm really looking forward to it.
The trade of them with the whole lot in one go.
I don't know. I was looking for your guys' help actually, just in case you knew. Like, I don't know if there's like a big volume with all of them.
Yeah, there is. There's it's a hardcover. It's basically the deluxe edition. You can get it on Amazon for about 30 quid, or you can get it on Kindle instantly for 25. But that looks like a good real life hardback one to get actually. And it has. It doesn't say actually in the listing which edition. I presume it's the 2021 storyline, isn't it? So it's it should have everything in it. If it's a deluxe edition, it'll be a trade of everything.
Yeah, cool. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Honourable mentions, Alex?
So I'm going to hold one back because I think you're going to mention it. But the one that I wanted to remind us all about is Thunderbolts. Because actually I thought it was all right. It's a little bit disappointing that Marvel does something that's generally watchable, and then in the next time it just throws it all away. So I just I don't know quite what will happen when Doomsday comes along. But
Alex, Fantastic Four was good, I thought. That's another Marvel film that kind of.
it wasn't it wasn't on my list. But it was very watchable. I think Fantastic Four was good. But I enjoyed Thunderbolts. It was nice for. I think one of the challenges for Marvel at the moment is it's just meeting expectations. They need, because expectations are stupidly high, and they need to come back down to, we've made a solid film that has a good story and good action, and that's it. Like, they need to go back down before they can ramp it all up. So we'll have to see how Doomsday goes. But I don't know.
Apparently, people are going to go and see the new Avatar film because allegedly it has a sneak Doomsday trailer.
There is one. I've seen it. I can talk to you about it as well, but I didn't want this to become an Avatar or trailer chat. But we will talk about that in a future one for sure.
Sure.
But anyway, so that was my honourable mention. Bobby, I think you've got plenty to go on. So what's your favourite?
Do you know, I was struggling at first because, like John, I've not been to the cinema. I think this is the first year in years that I've, Carolina and I just haven't been to the cinema that much. I mean, I think I'm trying to remember what we saw in the cinema this year. It was Superman, obviously, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Oh yeah, that was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Naked Gun.
This is it. That was it.
I'm really struggling to remember anything else that I did get to see in the cinema, and that was partly just because of being so damn busy, both with the business, which has grown so much this year. Obviously, the YouTube channel has taken up an inordinate amount of any spare time that I've had.
Did you see,
And
Bobby, did you see the Neutron film? I went to see that with my son at the IMAX. It was okay, actually. It was less of a disappointment than I thought. It looked. I mean, I watched it in. I recommend if you can, because I'm a real skeptic of 3D films. Especially the IMAX. I went to see Thor Ragnarok in 3D. I was a bit disappointed with the quality of it, but I think because of the high contrast in the settings, it was amazing in 3D with all the speakers. My son thought it was just the most amazing thing he's seen. He's never been to the IMAX before, so if you do get to see it, don't see it on the small screen first. Watch it on the big screen if you can.
yeah, okay,
You didn't
thanks.
see that, did you?
No,
No, I
because
missed
I've got such precious time that I'll look at review ratings and stuff, and if it looks like it's been reviewed badly, then I'm not going to waste my time going to see it. And also, I'm never really that interested in Tron anyway. So yeah, right. So movies. This is a really, really hard one. So I've got a few honourable mentions, but my favourite movie of this year is actually F1, the Brad Pitt,
I watched that last
Joseph
night.
Kosinski directed. Yeah, I saw it for the first time 2 nights ago with Carolina. We've been putting it off for a while because every time I was like, "Do you want to see F1?"
It's quite long. Isn't
And
it?
she's like, "No, it's like nearly 3 hours long." So then we'd end up watching a couple of episodes or something, and that has been a big thing this year. And I'll come on to this debate a little bit down the line this episode, but definitely we've been watching more TV shows than we have films. But we did finally watch it 2 nights ago because we started watching Highest Lois with Denzel Washington. And I don't know if you guys have
Any good?
tried to watch that. I think the premise is good and Denzel Washington never disappoints, but the sound... Just do me a favour, both of you. Go and watch it. Watch the first 10... Tell me if you can get past the first 10 minutes. The soundtrack is awful. It makes it sound like you're watching a daytime cheesy telenovela. It's awful. I don't know what Spike Lee was thinking when he allowed the composer to do what he did.
Direction.
It's a Spike Lee, yeah, it is. So anyway, back to the main topic at hand. So F1 the movie is my movie of the year. The reason why is because it was the movie where I was absolutely glued to the screen from start to finish. There wasn't a second that, I wanted to reach for my phone or I got distracted by anything. I was just so into it. And partly, obviously, we know, followers of the channel will know that I'm very much into my cars and my motorsport. I went on track for the first time a few times this past year, which has been another highlight of 2025 for me personally. But I think it was just so well filmed. I think the fact that they got the F1 community involved with it as well, so they had all the genuine drivers and stuff. And I watched a couple of the featurettes after, and how they managed to film only having 1 or 2 takes, like right before the real races, so that they could actually put Brad Pitt and the other actor in amongst the drivers. It was amazing the way they pulled it off. I mean, is it the best movie in terms of the storyline and all the rest of it? Of course it's not. It's a little bit cheesy. It's probably not quite anywhere near what F1 is like in real life. But I don't know. It feels like there's a level of authenticity to it. And also for people like me that were never really interested in Formula One, it's kind of got me interested. And also my wife, she understands the whole racing lines theory and all the rest of it. And the bit where have you seen it, Alex?
No, I've not seen it.
Okay,
You can
so
see,
there's
don't worry about it.
I won't give
Go for it.
anything away, but there is a bit where the younger driver has a bit of a mishap, and we paused the film, and then we were using one of the little arch windows in our front living room, and I got my Fast and Furious Toyota Supra model. And then I was literally driving it along the wall above the arch window, and Carolina was telling me, no, like to be able to go into that turn and exit the next one and maintain speed, you need to be a bit more over that way. You need to enter at this angle at this point, etc., etc. And I was like, I've been together with this woman for 20 years this month, and like I couldn't love her any more than I did in that moment.
You got
So,
jumpsuits on and some helmets for some saucy role play afterwards as well.
She's going to get the TT that I bought her on track at some point in the near future. So yeah,
Bobby.
But it was fantastic.
As a child, I would say sort of from the age of about 9 to about 12, my father used to sell high-performance cars, sell and service them. So I'd get picked up from school in Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches. It was a good time in my life, even though it was kind of a short time. But one of our clients who bought a very nice Ferrari office, a black Ferrari office, a 308 GTB Ferrari black, he also raced at Formula Ford. So he used to invite me and my dad quite often up for days at Brands Hatch whilst he was racing. And we would spend the day in the pits. So we would be there as the cars were brought in. I mean, they had less changes on Formula Fords because there's less wear and tear on them. But we'd be in the pits. The only thing I noticed that wasn't quite so real was when you're in the pits on a racetrack, the noise is unbelievable. And obviously they can't do that. The audio balance would be knocked out. But that kind of feeling of a team and camaraderie in the pits was just perfectly. Do you know what? At one point, near the end of the film, I won't spoil it because there's a bit near the end where they're all like together, aren't they, in the pits? They're all jumping around. It felt almost like they developed the characters enough in that film that it felt almost like a bit of Ted Lasso, in a good way, in that you kind of no one was one-dimensional. You know, every character on the pit crew, you'd seen them in action, seen them interacting. You know, and I was thinking several things whilst watching it. I was thinking about when I used to do the 24-hour races in Gran Turismo, where you could leave it running and watch your stats on the screen, like the people in the race crew were looking at the stats on the screens. I also watched my favourite YouTube channel, apart from ours, obviously, which is the Corridor Crew, and they got the special effects guy in from F1 to talk about that crash, that accident, which I think is in the trailer as well, Bobby. Josh's accident, and they were meant to make it crash through because they didn't use CGI; they used a real car for that, and they were meant to make it crash through the barriers. And in the actual take, it went right over the top of the barriers, didn't it, spinning in the air. And they decided, well, that looks really realistic. It looks less like dramatic, but that's what actually happened. So they left it in as the take for the special effects scene. And I like the fact that they actually use a real, effect, a real practical effect for that as well. But yeah, he's knocked it on the head. Cheesy, but great fun. A couple of times near the beginning of the film, I thought that Brad Pitt was kind of phoning it in a bit with his acting, but he kind of got better towards the end. But I think cheesy but fun. But the fact that it's one of the very few films that me and Becca can sit down together and watch. And here's the acid test. If it's a good film, she did not fall asleep during it. She actually was really engaged and excited by it. Yeah. So I'm with you. I would say that's probably up there in my top 5 of the year. That film, definitely.
Okay, cool. Back to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again in Vision Pro. Because
is it 3D in Vision Pro?
Yeah, I think it is. I need to. I actually need to kind of look up what they've done for Vision Pro, but I know that there's also.
Can you sit in the pits whilst you're watching it? That would be cool.
Yeah. John, do you remember when we used to do previous, like tangents and all the rest of it, and you used to be the podcast etiquette Nazi?
Yeah, I'm in please, all the time because I'm so excited
You've just got so loose as you've got old. It's incredible.
I'm not sure what that means, Bobby, but carry on.
Yeah. In Vision Pro, look, I'm going to answer that now because you did ask the question.
Yeah.
Apple Vision Pro offers an immersive teaser F1 the movie Hot Lap, placing you virtually in the cockpit with Brad Pitt for a high-speed lap, featuring behind-the-scenes content from the blockbuster film. While the full movie is available on Apple TV Plus, the Vision Pro experience uses 8K 180-degree video to simulate the F1 thrill, putting you on the track for a unique, immersive preview of the movie's racing action. So yeah, that's going to be pretty freaking cool. Yeah,
you can't
on
back, can you? It won't be the same.
I don't think so, because I imagine when you start screen recording it in the Vision Pro, it will black out the actual screen itself. Yeah, exactly. Honourable mentions. So yeah, anyone who hasn't seen F1 the movie yet, highly recommend it. Honourable mentions, obviously Superman. We've talked about that enough. And then a couple other movies I want to mention, and if you haven't seen them, I definitely recommend checking them out. The first one is The Life of Chuck, which stars Tom Hiddleston, and it's about a man. It basically tells a story about the 3 chapters in this man called Chuck's life, And it is one of those films where it starts off and the first chapter you watch, he's not even in it, and you think, like, what the hell is going on? But as the film progresses, it really gets you thinking about life, about our place in the universe, about how short life is, about how important all of our loved ones are, and so on. And, you know, it really gives you the feels, and it really hits you. There's an incredible, and if you don't want to watch the movie, fine, but if you don't, I highly recommend going to YouTube, search Life of Chuck dance sequence, and there's like a 20-25 minute long dance sequence with Tom Hiddleston, and it is absolutely phenomenal, like absolutely incredible. He's so talented, and he and the rest of the supporting cast are just so good. It's a beautiful looking movie as well, but it really does get you kind of questioning life and the time that we have, and so on. So Life of Chuck I highly recommend. I also another honourable mention has to go to a very small low budget movie called Good Boy. The star of the movie is a dog, and it basically tells the story a bit kind of Blair Witchy style, but from the dog's point of view, as he has to protect his owner from all these evil forces. Yes, but is it? Is all I'm going to say. But I highly recommend checking that out as well. It's it was highly impactful. Obviously, we've got two dogs, so you know, we were biting our nails all the way through. But I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give anything away. But I would highly recommend checking it out. And it is another one of those movies like Life of Chuck, but in a very different way that gets you sort of just kind of thinking just about kind of life and how short our time is. So there we go.
So no honourable mention for Final Reckoning? I'm surprised.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this as you were talking, Alex, about your choices, and I did think about the Final Reckoning, and I think we could give it a special podcast mention because we did do the Mission Impossible series earlier this year. You know, it's that first 45 minutes again that does it for me. I want to watch that film again, especially with Vision Pro. But
somebody released the title of it, Bobby. But you can watch it. They've cut it out before. They've cut it so you can watch it without 45 minutes. As a torrent.
I think I saw that on someone whose name won't be mentioned, Plex, actually.
Yeah, that was it. That's what
It was a
limited.
limited.
Yeah,
it was
you
a
must know the
limited
same
release.
guy as me, John.
Yeah, I do. I do know the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, you might know him
It
as
was
well.
a limited release on YouTube. I think by the time we go up, by the time it goes up, no one will be able to access it now. But the thing is, there was a limited release of this adjusted cut, and they basically said how it's a very difficult film to improve. Partly because while there is lots of exposition, you can cut out the film, and about 40 minutes have been cut in this version. But the problem is that there's so many bits that you kind of need a little bit more context that was never given, and is sitting on the cutting room floor somewhere that never to be seen. And so because of that, it made it quite hard to completely remove elements that weren't necessary. But I've not watched it yet actually. But that fan cut, you can look for it and find it there.
Like the machete cut in Star Wars. Or the sniper cut,
I'm just.
Yeah, I mean the thing is the great thing about that film is once it got going, it really got going, as they all do. I think it was just a touch disappointing as an ending. Like really wanted Mission Impossible to end on an absolute high, and it just fell short. I didn't like it anywhere near as much as I loved Dead Reckoning. Well, yeah, 4, but I mean from 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So anyway, there we go. Right, moving on.
The people that do it, that do this fan cut, is Pentex Productions. So if you put that into Google, you can go and find out how to get access to that fan made cut. So
yeah, it's funny how when I planned this out, I said, and I sent this agenda to these two as well, and basically I put for each segment 12 to 15 minutes. So, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, there's been too much bloody exposition.
Don't look at me here.
I know, we know who the culprit is.
Anyway, carry on.
TV shows, guys. I appreciate this is John's gonna go on because I think I've got a feeling what he's going to mention.
Oh really? Try and guess then.
I think you're going to Severance. You're going to talk about and Pluribus. I think Pluribus is going to be your standout series.
Okay, so let's go in. Pluribus is my honourable mention, or my surprise or sleeper hit, because my standout series this year, by a far stretch, I had to check because it was this year, was actually Andor.
Okay, we'll get into a little conversation then. I'll allow that.
I mean,
I've got things to say.
It was season 2 of Andor, and I thought historians are going to look back at that series and know exactly when it was made because it was such a statement on current politics, and so well written and so well teased out, and it just hit me like a hammer by the end. I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. So, it looked amazing. I love the settings that they filmed a lot of it in London, on the Jubilee Line again, and in the brutalist sort of buildings they used in it. I just loved it. I thought it was so it wasn't insulting viewers' intelligence, and Stellan Skarsgård is amazing in it. Bobby, you got your hand up.
Just so you know, I'm only on episode 5. And Alex, have you seen it?
I've got some way through season 2, but not all the way.
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it. But...
So that John in itself should tell you something, because I get the feeling that Alex isn't as enthusiastic about it as you are, and he might actually be on the same level of enthusiasm as me, which is kind of like, I'm just waiting for this damn thing to get going, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, why is this even important? There's a lot of things about it that I don't like because they take me out of Star Wars. And it's their choice with things like music, with colloquialisms, language, etc., that doesn't feel so Star Warsy to me. I loved season 1. I absolutely loved season 1.
That's really interesting.
I think there are some really important themes that they're discussing in season 2 so far. But I'm just like, not just from you, I'm hearing from a lot of people that it is the standout TV series of 2025. And I'm just like, have I just been dropped into Earth 6671b or something? I'm not actually on my own planet right now because I don't understand the fuss over this damn show. Seriously,
okay not to like it. It's okay to not to like it, and people get different things from films and TV. And maybe it was my state of mind at the time I watched it, and I mainlined it, so I watched it all the way through. And I agree with our busy schedules and things going on that if something doesn't grab you straight away, then move on. I liked the slowness of it. I liked the creep. I like the way it kind of builds things up. I like the kind of the dread and the way. I don't want to spoil too much with the way they finish the season, but if you do eventually get time to watch it,
I know I'm watching it. I'm going to finish it. I'm trying to get through an episode every other day.
Yeah,
but it's not. That's the thing. It's not making me mainline it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, okay, Andor. We'll discuss it more when you finished it. Going to my surprise, to just be quick and
sure.
Hastings. Going to my surprise, this will be Pluribus. Have you seen it?
Sorry, just to roll back 10 seconds so I can actually be seen to be being gracious rather than a Grinch.
Okay.
I'm really, really happy and pleased for you, John, that you loved it so much and you got so much out of it. That's just the most wonderful thing. It's a Christmas gift.
Okay. Bobby's because he loves Star Wars. He wants to like it.
I do. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars so much.
I liked it. I just my wife won't watch it anymore. So that means that I have to try and fit it around things.
So Carolina's sort of watching it because
politicsy.
Who's the guy that's married to the other sort of evil woman, and he's got to be in charge of the tailoring planet.
Yes.
And his mum's got the really distinctive voice.
She's very good.
She's one of she's friends with my wife.
Oh really?
Yeah. They do advanced yoga together.
Pass the message on to her that I loved it. Random bloke that's a friend of a friend of a friend of your wife's friend loved it. Just let her know, okay?
Yeah. So now by association, you have a connection.
I do. I feel privileged.
That's it. Right.
Let's talk about Pluribus very quickly. Have you seen it, Alex?
So it's on my list. I haven't seen it. I've heard good things. I want to hear more good things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't really want to. Have you seen any of it, Bobby, at all?
I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah. I watched the finale last night, which is interesting. I would say that the vibe with Andor and Pluribus are very, very similar. They're very kind of slow, and a lot less punchy than a lot of the series, although Andor does pick up in terms of punchiness later on. But Pluribus was never about sort of action and effect. It's much more about one person reacting to a situation and dealing with it. So it's kind of an emotional journey.
But that wouldn't be a surprise if you're a fan of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It is very much a Vince Gilligan show, written the way that it's shot, framed, the color grading, everything, the soundtrack, the cold opens. It's 100% Vince Gilligan.
I can't give too much away because the first episode is such a good episode.
Okay.
How do I say this? So something happens that changes the world.
Okay.
And it's really about one person, and it's done in such a clever, believable, realistic way. And the first episode is a proper smash, like jaw dropper when it happens. But it's really about I watch it and think, what would I do in this situation? It really puts me in that situation. How would I react? And I react very differently to the character, and that's why I like it. Because she's kind of unusual. She's a sort of a romance fantasy novel author, and she's quite stroppy. I like that. She gives out quite a lot, and definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. And then something we can talk about, and then maybe to discuss why I like. And I've never seen Breaking Bad, or Better Call Saul, so maybe I should go and watch those after this because I like the Vince Gilligan style of kind of slow burner TV series.
Nice.
Alex.
Okay. So, mine probably isn't a surprise either. So my standout series is Fallout on Amazon Prime. It's so good. I'm not finished with it yet, and I'm just enjoying it as we're watching it together. It's just so well done. And
I haven't started. I think we should probably do this before we talk further about stuff. Is to find out if the other two exactly. So I've watched season 1. And season 2, I'm just waiting for more of them to be available.
Yes.
Because I want to snort them up my nostrils.
They're great.
But I absolutely love season 1.
Yeah. I just the thing is what it's made me realise is that actually I have much more of affinity to the Fallout series than I realised, and that is a sign of.
Alex?
Yeah, I did, but not. Yeah. I played Fallout 4 quite a bit. Yeah. But I never played New Vegas or Fallout 3.
That's meant to be the best New Vegas.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It kind of makes me want to do it again. In fact, now that I've got my handheld PC, looking for a remastered one of those would be really quite good. So I think for me, it's just bringing me back to actually that's really good. That's what I like. But I just love how much care and it's a bit. Yeah, I think the thing is, and this is something we might come on to later, is it does remind you that actually Amazon Prime's quite a safe pair of hands for adaptations and like going from books or film or whatever. They're really putting a good amount of money and care behind stuff. So that's good and bodes well for Bond, hopefully. So anyway, that's my main pick. Bobby, we should do your main pick first, and then we might see if there's any other honourable mentions.
Oh, sure. Okay. So my main pick is Severance, season 2 or whatever it was.
Nice.
So Severance was a funny one because season 1, I can't remember when that came out. Was it a COVID one or was it pre-COVID?
Yeah, there's quite a gap between the two, wasn't there? A couple of years gap, I think.
Yeah. So we didn't watch season 1 until season 2 came out and started. So when halfway through season 2 is when we started watching season 1. And because season 2 then finished, by the time we got to the end of season 1, we then went straight into season 2. And it's a really funny one because we did watch the first episode of season 1 when it first came out, and Carolina was like not getting into it. And I was having a really hard time as well. And I think just having seen so many people talking about it, critics and stuff, and saying how good it was, and then obviously this kind of mystery at the end of season 1, like, do they get out or whatever? And I was like, look, I can't keep going because eventually someone's going to spoil this, and I need to give it a chance. And so I think it was you, John, that told me just try and get through the first 3 episodes, and that's what we did, and that was it. From there, we were mainlining that. I love that term. We were mainlining Severance like there was no tomorrow, and we both loved it. So definitely my pick of the year 2025. Severance was so great, and I just can't wait for season 3.
Do you think? Because it's won lots of awards as well. Do you think Severance benefited? I think it really. I don't know how much of a hand Apple had in this, but it really felt like the most Apple of Apple series in terms of its look and its design. Very briefly, for a while, you could buy the desktop computers from Severance on the Apple website as well. I feel like it's the most polished, apart from perhaps Foundation, which we haven't mentioned, but it's quite a niche series. Foundation, I loved it, but Severance felt one of the most polished, well-made series I've seen in a long time. And some of the special effects they were doing, there was I think it was the beginning of season 2, when the main character, played by, is it Adam Scott? Yeah, Adam Scott.
Yeah.
He's running through the corridors, isn't he? And the camera does some really clever work as it swings around him as he's running through the corridors. And again, I watched a breakdown of those VFX, and some of the stuff they were doing with motion control was just so clever. It feels like the pinnacle of TV production, doesn't it, Severance? Like everything's come together over the last 30 or 40 years, and it's just with a really good story and a great cast. Yeah, definitely worth mentioning. It's a really good series.
Yeah, also one of the scenes of the year for me with the music dance experience with Milchek and all of them, just kind of freestyling it. Carolina absolutely loved that as well. And now whenever I started wearing roll necks in the winter, just sometimes because it's easier, first thing in the morning. No. But I got home from work one day, tweed jacket, roll neck, and Carolina just started giggling and burst out laughing. And I said, "What?" And she said, "Mr. Milchek, Mr. Milchek."
And you spoke
nothing to do with me being brown.
Unnecessarily long sentences too, really.
But the other thing I think I loved about Severance is it posed some really challenging questions as well. Like, the whole, like, without giving too much away, but like, what would you do in that situation? Like with the whole, Helly and him kind of out of work in work, like his wife out of work who he'd been searching for all this time, and then her in work, and the choice at the end of season 2 was absolutely mind blowing as well. Oh god, I'm gonna have to watch it again. Really, it's such great TV, really.
It's very good.
Yeah. Honourable mentions, Alex?
Yeah, so I've got a couple. One of which is Ludwig, which is David
great show.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
And it came out late 2024, so it often missed a few of them. But it was, honestly, if you've not watched it already, you should watch it on BBC.
Good.
It's great.
Watch it on iPlayer, can't you?
It's on iPlayer and
production?
BritBox. Yeah, it's BBC production, and they're filming season 2 already. They'll be out next year. So actually, if you haven't watched it, it's a great time to watch it. It's only 6 episodes, so it's that brilliant mix of like his sort of like physical. It's a sort of his physical comedy and just being a klutz. Aside him actually solving murders, which is and crimes, and you're just like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
Ludwig is his pseudonym, isn't it? He writes puzzles for newspaper. Right. And
that's exactly it.
The premise of the series, without giving too much away, is he gets a mistaken identity. He ends up working for a police department, solving crimes using his puzzle skills, and that's all I can say about it, really, isn't it?
That's it. That's exactly it. But it's based in Cambridge, and it's lovely to watch. There's some
very well made.
nice places, and it's just one of those things that I think procedural crime shows. Like, if you ignore the American ones, because a lot of the American ones are like Sausage Factory, they just go on and on and on. This just got a nice bit of character to it, and I think it's really worth a watch. So I definitely recommend that one. I don't know if you two have watched it yet, but maybe an honourable mention for Wake Up Dead Man, which was the latest Knives Out one.
Yeah, I've seen that yet.
If you've not seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. I'm not going to tell you anything more than about that, but it's definitely worth a watch. So I think that's one of those, and it would be remiss of me not to mention Stranger Things. That has a finale at the end of the New Year's Day. So my daughter's got into that, and she absolutely loves it. And so we're working our way through it at the moment. And it's really good, but it doesn't. It's not a patch on any of the others.
Are you watching from the start all 4 seasons before this final season, or have you already seen it and are now watching the final season?
No, I just did a recap.
Okay.
My daughter has watched it from the start several times, so yeah, she really loves it. But yeah, I don't know if anything is going to meet her expectations of what that finale should be. So that'll be an interesting time. But anyway, it's that's what Netflix does well. So I just do feel like it's time for it to go. So yeah, it's going out with a bang. Hopefully you'll enjoy it when you see it.
So my honourable mentions, we're not crisscrossing ever again, by the way, because this is now making it even longer. My honourable mention for TV shows this year is Dark Winds, so season 3. Dark Winds, which is an AMC show produced by Robert Redford, the late great Robert Redford, and George R.R. Martin, who I think was Game of Thrones guy. But it is a gritty Western noir series set in 1970s Arizona on the Navajo Nation, following tribal police lieutenant Joe Leaphorn, played by Zahn McClarnon, and his new deputy Jim Chi, as they investigate seemingly unrelated, complex crimes that force them to confront personal demons and traditional beliefs, often uncovering dark secrets and forces of evil connected to their own past and the community's spiritual wounds. The show blends thrilling crime-solving with rich cultural depth, exploring themes of grief, loyalty, and justice through the eyes of its Native American protagonists. Absolutely phenomenal show. I had no clue about it. It was Carolina that actually started watching it, and I obviously got roped into it. But it's riveting television. It's so well made. It's so well scripted. It's so well acted. It's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Highly recommend you check it out.
Do you know what? I'm a massive fan of. So the main character is called, what's his name again? What's the character's name? Is it Joe Leaphorn?
Joe Leaphorn.
Yeah. So is it Zahn McClarnon that played him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really good in Westworld, in the second and third series of Westworld, as this sort of Navajo tribal leader, and he was so good in that, and he's been so good in other films. Okay, that's a good tip. I'm going to watch that. Is it Netflix?
I think it's now on Netflix. They've got season 1 and 2 there.
Season 3? Is it on, where did you watch it?
I know, if you put a little watch list request on Plex, then our mutual friend might be able to drag the other episodes for you.
We'll speak to our mutual
But
friend.
don't you go to Netflix, because I think seasons 1 and 2 are there.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix and Now TV at the moment. So
Right,
that's what it's on.
Yeah. I know you
There
don't
we
like
go.
crisscrossing, but can I just do a quick, without any dialogue, I mention I rewatched June Prophecy, the series, this year. I loved it. And I watched binge watching it. Brilliant.
Is that a 2025 thing?
It's not, but I watched it in 2025.
No,
It's my
okay.
washing up program. I always say something whilst I'm washing up. That was it.
Okay,
So
I
if you're listening,
rewatched
that's
The American Office, which ended like over 10 years ago this year, but it doesn't count for the purposes of this podcast. Gaming. Let's try not to drag this one out. Yeah, good luck with that. So I'm going to go first because I'll probably be the fastest. No, actually, I'm not. Alex.
Yeah.
Have you had any time for gaming this year? You got your Asus ROG thing, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got my. It's a Legion Go that I play. That's my handheld PC. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Its time is quite limited, so but as I'm on Xbox, it's quite an interesting. It's been quite an interesting year. There's actually been quite a lot of good releases this year, so there's been lots and lots to keep me busy. I think my favourite one this year is Outer Worlds 2, which I've just completed. I've been waiting for that for a long time. It's basically Fallout in space. And that's why I quite enjoyed the Fallout references as well. So I really enjoyed that, and spent a fair bit of time. I kind of went straight through it, so that's really good. There are lots of good games out at the moment.
Yeah, so which is why I'm going to just caveat this, right, and remind you what the original brief was. One game, and this is my fault, I blame myself for not reminding you. One game you enjoyed the most or spent the most time with, and one gaming moment rather than a full title. Okay?
So
you've had your one game
I'm
that you
gonna
enjoyed
keep
the
this
most.
Exactly as you say, Bobby.
Yeah, of course you are.
Exactly.
So I think the gaming moment needs to be playing South at Midnight. And the reason for that is because it's not a game I would have bought, although it does interest me, some of these, but it was on Game Pass, so I played it on day one. And it's just such an enchanting set of music that sits behind the scenes when you're playing. It makes it so enjoyable. It's a fairly linear story. It's nothing particularly challenging. But I just enjoyed the music that came with it and the setting. And it was so beautifully done. And in a way, that's a case of a game that could only really work on Game Pass. Because while the game studio would do really well, would still have created this, I just don't think they would have had the recognition that they had. Game Pass really gave it the visibility for them, and so I really enjoyed it. So that's my one gaming moment, and we can talk more about whether it was Xbox's last year of gaming. We can talk a bit more about that another time. So that's
South of Midnight. I saw it at the games reveal, and I think it's coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch 2 next year, Bobby, if you want to play it.
Yes.
Because I think it's Game Pass or buy only at the moment, isn't it? I think you
Dude,
get it.
It is, but it will come out.
Yeah.
They have 12 months, and then they move onto it. So you'll get it next year, and it is definitely worth paying.
Really
In fact, it's worth paying for so long as it's on a sale. I think it's definitely worth it.
I've got
That's my two.
I've got so many games shrink wrapped still sat next to the TV that I haven't even opened, like Indiana Jones and a couple of others, and games that I've downloaded from PlayStation, whatever it's called. Ghost of I bought Hitman World of Assassination the other night because I thought
I've been
I could
replaying
give myself.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
VR.
And I've not even started it because the game that I have spent the most time with, not necessarily been enjoying, is EAFC 26.
Football, yeah.
FIFA, yeah.
Football, yeah.
And I keep promising myself this is my last year. That's it. I'm retiring from FIFA. Having played it since FIFA 2008 or something. I don't know. Like I've been playing it for before that, 96 I think was the first one, and I had it on the Nintendo. What was it called? The Nintendo, the grey one. The Nintendo. What was the one that GoldenEye came out on?
GameCube.
No, not the GameCube.
That's the N64, isn't it?
The N64.
N64.
That's it.
Right.
So I've been playing FIFA since the N64 days, and it was FIFA and GoldenEye were the two games that I played all the time there, as well as Mario Kart. But anyway, so sadly it's EAFC 26. I hated it when it first launched because it is always like that with FIFA games because they change the mechanics and so on, and you've gotten so used to it. It took me a while to get used to it and stop getting beaten, and now I'm getting pretty awesome at it, and I hate myself for it because I just spend so much time and it's taking me away from so many other amazing games. But that is that one. And then my gaming moment of the year, I think, has to be when I got my Switch 2 finally, plugged it into the telly, and I played Super Mario Kart World, Super Mario Kart, whatever, for the first time in 15, 20 years. And on a big 4K screen, it was the best thing ever. Just reliving. And do you know what? It's so funny how muscle memory works for gamers, because there was no learning curve. It was like I was 16 years old again. It's like bang, straight into it. Absolutely incredible. So there we go. Oh, can I have one more gaming moment, please?
Well, hold on. We were very strict about this, Bobby. When you said
Come on. I have
You've both broken the rules, so I'm allowed to break them once.
Okay.
This is not my PlayStation Portal, the PlayStation Portal. This is my Switch 2. My PlayStation Portal's in the bedroom. I think the other moment was when PlayStation allowed cloud streaming, so you didn't need to have your PS5 in standby mode. And being able to do that, and how fast it works as well, was another incredible gaming moment. I was just like, what would teenage us, what would we have thought of that? Our minds would have been blown. Like, we are living in such an incredible period right now with technology. John?
This is without doubt the easiest one of all of these for me to answer. Arc Raiders. I am absolutely obsessed by it, to the point where I'm hoping Becky doesn't watch this or listen to this podcast. I was sitting on Christmas Day with all the in-laws around and wrapping presents, and all I could think of was I don't want to be here. I want to be back on Speranza. I want to be back raiding the surface of the earth. Like, I mean, it absolutely got me hooked. And, one of the cheapest games I bought this year. And, yeah, there's been a bit of controversy with it using generative AI for some of its design process. And for the sounds and, the voices. But it's just, there's something about it. You just jump in and raid the earth for 20, 25, 30 minutes and loot things and battle drones and things. But it's this whole... The big hook is the social experience about how other players behave. It's been a massively interesting psychological experiment on human behaviour. So you can go in as a solo player, or you can go in in squads of 3, a bit like a lot of these kind of PUBG type games and extraction shooters. It's an extraction shooter. You've got to go in, get all your gear you want, all the nice stuff, and get out before someone else takes it off you. So if you get shot or killed, you lose everything. And it's incredibly stressful and tense and fun. And there's loads of emergent gameplay coming out of it, like the days of Far Cry 4. We can do some cool things, and it's where people are constantly breaking the systems or testing the systems, and the developers love it because new things appear. But the whole meta of your having to craft resources and save things up and up level things, I'm not really into that kind of thing normally, but this has got me absolutely addicted. And the sound design is excellent. The sound is unbelievably good. It looks, for a smaller development game, it looks amazing. It's just really interesting. There's not a second where I'm not bored in that game, and you should be. It's just like going into 4 or 5 maps and pootling about. But it is the player interactions and the fact that you have this proximity chat where you can hear people at a distance talking to you, and the whole mechanic of when you meet someone else in the real world, another player, are you nice to each other or are you horrible to each other? And there's that constant sort of... It's become a bit of an internet meme with a "don't shoot" phrase. Don't shoot. So you've got this sort of emoticon wheel where you can leave comments or you can talk out loud. And so it's just fascinating, like the whole tenseness of if you meet someone, are they going to nick all your stuff? And every system's set up to create this stress. So for me, like your FIFA, Bobby, I kind of everything else has gone the wayside. I have started Claire Obscure because it won all the awards, and I did complete Spider-Man 2 this year, which is a great game, really good game as well. But yeah, Ark Raiders has just been my crack cocaine of gaming. It really has.
Would that also include your gaming moment of the year then?
No. My gaming moment of the year...
Damn it. I thought I'd knock 2 birds with one stone there.
I played a game through in about 3 days straight with Ewan, with my son. Split screen co-op on the Switch. And that... Oh no, was it on the PlayStation? I think it might be on the PlayStation.
Let's, for argument's sake, just say it was the PlayStation.
It was the PlayStation. Is Split Fiction.
Ah.
Now, there's one particular scene in that game where because Split Fiction is the people who made
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. So split couch co-op games where you have to work together and the screen split and you can play on different devices or on the same device. And I played It Takes Two with you as well. But there's one particular level where you're basically riding motorbikes. And it's kind of a mixture of like Tron and Akira, and it's sci-fi and it's fantasy. And the scene where you're racing the bikes, and it's kind of designed to be fairly forgiving for less experienced gamers, so that if you're playing with someone less experienced, it's still fun. It was just and the pleasure and the joy we both got out of playing that, and the bonding with my son, who's a big gamer as well. My only complaint about it is I could play a game 3 times as long. It was so varied and so amazing. But that moment with the motorbikes, and we were literally shouting with joy when we were playing it. It's really good. I can't recommend it enough. But you've got to play it with someone else, which is the challenge, isn't it, with those sort of games? But I loved it.
Cool.
That's my game.
Yeah, no, it's good. I have not played. I've not played it yet,
really
but I'm waiting for it to come onto.
Yeah.
I was playing the one before that. I can't remember what it's called.
There's no way out. There's the prison break.
There's no way. No, it was the one where there's 2. There's the wife and the husband.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Yeah. So I'm playing that one, and we've got so far, and then we had to stop. But it's just what's great about it. And in fact, 2026 there should be some more co-ops coming out. It's just like it's so unusual to find proper co-ops. Fighting like working against each other is fine, but this is like integrated. That you have to work together to get to succeed. And I mean, it's just so well done. They're just so good at it. So Yeah, no, I thoroughly recommend it. I just haven't seen it yet because I played it yet because I'm just limited on how many things to pay for today at the moment. So,
Yeah. How about
all
you,
right,
Bobby?
go on, Bobby.
Were we still talking about games?
I think we've done.
we're
There's
done.
lots we can talk to about that,
I
but
know,
I think we should
we won't.
move on.
Right, tech of the year. So we're going to keep this a bit more snappy. Your favourite piece of everyday tech that you got this year, or that you desire. It might be something that you haven't got, but you have seen that was released this year that you really love. Most impressive piece of tech, and your tech disappointment of the year. Let's go to Alex first of all, because you unboxed a bit of tech at Christmas, including a self present.
did.
Go ahead.
So
And
actually-
don't get into technical specs and stuff like that. Which just
I'm not going to get onto. I haven't even
focus on
started talking,
products.
mate.
That's a fan favourite though when Alex does that.
So
Surely.
I think my everyday tech for the year has actually been my 2-year-old foldable phone, the Honor V2, and genuinely this has been the best piece of kit that I've had for the last 18 months, which is why at Christmas I got myself the follow-up, which is the this is the Honor V5, and so I've been setting that up, and I'm thoroughly impressed with it so far. And genuinely, this is 2026 is going to be the year of Apple Foldables. We're led to believe. So good luck with that, because I've been doing it for 2 or 3 years, and whatever they come out with is not going to be technically as good as this phone. So
Did you see that trifold phone that Marcus Brownlee reviewed?
I did. Yeah, it's
Was that
which
Galaxy?
is lovely. And no, it's a Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy Z Fold, trifold,
That looks
and
amazing.
that does look amazing. But I think it's just a trinket that no one will be able to afford because it's 2.5 grand.
apart from Tailoring Talk Magazine fans, because when we're doing these episodes together, they'll be able to have each of us in one screen.
We need to fold us in then. on
Use
each other.
case. Use case.
Anyway, that is my everyday tech. Do we want to move on to
Yeah. No,
the
you
next
keep
stage?
it going.
So
So your most
my
impressive piece of tech
most
this year.
impressive piece of tech is actually it's a MacBook Air M4, which I got for work, and it replaced the guys
Oh
are
my
losing
God,
it
I
now.
can't.
Hold on, where's the champagne? Hold on.
Whoa,
So,
that is mind blowing.
I knew this-
Hang on
I-
a minute.
I
I
knew
might have
this
a
would
sound
get-
effect.
Welcome to the garden.
And the reason I got it for work because I have I spend a lot of time in and out of meetings all day, and I needed a laptop that had decent battery life. My Intel.
There we go.
I've lost John, and it just couldn't.
I'm just going to keep this going.
I can't hear you, mate. Let's start again. This cooking's going. How do you stop the happening?
I can stop it, but I'm not going to, because this is just priceless. This is amazing.
So anyway, so
Oh my god.
that's it. So that's my
Yes.
most impressive piece
Oh.
of tech.
Now you drag
I
that.
play for it. Well, it's guys, it's fine. It's as I say, it's one of those things that it just lasts forever. Basically, the battery I sit there at the end of the day, and I'm already on like 50%, and then I go home and I do 2 or 3 hours more work, and it's like still on 40%, and I'm like, how is this possible? So yeah, Apple did a great job with power optimization, so I have to give them that. So that's my most impressive piece of tech. I have one other piece of tech which is most disappointed. My tech disappointment of the year. And this might become an ongoing theme, but mine is Google Home speakers. They have been progressively getting worse and worse and worse. I bought some nice Harman Kardon citation speakers, which are lovely, have Google inbuilt, and they're just getting worse and worse and worse. Sometimes they don't hear you properly. Yes.
Not because of
Because you've got to remember that the speaker itself and the thing behind it hasn't changed. Literally nothing has changed apart from Google.
So it's the
and
Google functionality that's causing the problems.
No, I think the problem is, yes, it is the Google functionality, but of course Google's the only thing you can do on it unless you use it as a Bluetooth speaker. The thing that's frustrating is that, you know, you might just say like set an alarm or turn on a light or just these are simple commands that you can do on all of your smart home devices.
Yeah.
And it's just been progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And I think
Google
it's
quite
mainly
famous,
just
Alex, aren't they,
Yeah.
for bringing something out that's cool and then just yanking it away again.
Yeah, well, I think progressively, basically, Google have been spending more and more time moving from Google Home and Google Assistant over to Google Gemini.
Yeah.
And I've been told that that's coming to these speakers. But to be honest, I didn't need Google Gemini. I just wanted something that, when I said turn the lights on, just turned the lights on. It wasn't a complicated request. But it's just been progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And it isn't the device's fault. It's Google's fault, unfortunately.
If it's any consolation, I find Alexa patchy at times for putting lights on. However, I find Siri through my HomePods is perfect every single time, which is really weird considering Alexa has the hub for my Hue lights. Alexa's meant to be the best with them, but I find my Apple devices are quickest for lights, and then Alexa, and obviously Google Home's.
So your Apple devices are quickest because they work locally. Yeah, they work locally first, which is great. But the thing is that this isn't even that hard. This is what's annoying. Anyway,
right, Alex, you'll need to give me.
I'm done.
After the podcast,
I'm done. That's me.
You'll
finished.
need to give me after the podcast the model number of those speakers, because my neighbour, who I'm going for a beer with in about 3 hours locally, is a big wig for Harman Kardon, and I can probably source some replacements for you for very, very cheap.
He'll want me to get the new ones.
He can get them cost basically for you, so if you want them, so let me know. Okay. In future,
all right, that's great.
Harman Kardon, he can get them.
I'll come to you, mate.
Yeah.
That's good.
Bobby, do you want to go next, or
that's
shall
me.
No, I'll go because mine's not actually going to take that long.
Okay.
My favourite everyday piece of tech from 2025 is my Apple Vision Pro. It took me a long time to make the buying decision. I didn't get the first gen M2 version, but I obviously have got the Vision Pro. I was driven to it having tried out X-Real and Vitor XR glasses because I've just really been trying to solve this extended virtual desktop thing. And the Vision Pro, I love it so much. It's such a magical piece of technology, and that means that it also drops into my most impressive piece of tech of 2025. It is wonderful. There will be a full review coming soon. I need to start actually recording for that and so on. So look out for that in the next couple of weeks. And my tech disappointment of the year has been the Vitor Luma Ultra XR glasses. Again, I bought them for a bit of movie watching content consumption. But also for the virtual desktop features. Their advertising shows that they look 4K crisp and sharp and all the rest of it, but it has not been the case at all. In fact, actually, right now, as I speak to you, they have gone back to Vitor to be repaired or replaced because they're now not working with anything. The software's clunky. The Android XR neckband thing was just a complete disaster. I know there are people out there that will be watching this and like, what are you talking about? Mine worked perfectly. Good for you. But as always, we share our personal, real experiences and we don't bullshit on this channel. And I just found them such a struggle. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you can't compare the Vision Pro with a pair of £600 XR glasses. Well, shut up. I am. It's all based on use case. And, I'm like the local equivalent of Bruce Wayne around here, and I had the money to do it. So I got the Vision Pro, and it is freaking awesome. So there we go. John?
My favourite piece of tech that I use every single day is my iPhone 17 Pro Max. Unlike you, Bobby, I don't upgrade so often, so it was a massive jump for me from the 13 to the 17. We both got the same case as well. We look at that. On your recommendation, Bobby. So yeah, I just love it. I mean, it's just such a great device and has saved my skin a few times. So I had some issues with video rendering on my M4 iPad Pro that was solved using the old a vapor chamber called the 17 Pro Max. So I love it a lot. It is the device that we as a society use the most often, isn't it, as well? But yeah, it's a beautiful device, and I am very happy, and I love the orange. And I'm not going to say much more than that because I think it speaks for itself. It is just a great device. And there's something related to it that I'm going to mention later on as well. But yeah, my 17 Pro Max, I'm very, very, very happy with it indeed. I don't replace them very often. So as you mentioned before, Alex, about the foldables, I am going to keep my eye out on the foldables and maybe get the second or third gen of that foldable when it's better, and just keep this for a lot longer because this phone's amazing. If that makes sense. I don't know if I need that larger screen in my pocket all the time like you do, but I have an iPad that will last for a long time as well. So
this is it. When you've got an iPad, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, my iPad's brilliant because it's basically a MacBook as well. You know, it's as good as a MacBook. And I use it a lot for work. I use it more than my work computer, because I can do everything in the cloud and still follow GDPR regulations. It's really good. My most impressive piece of tech, which Bobby mentioned earlier, has been my PS Portal. I do have a Switch 2. I generally have now consigned that Switch 2 to away from home usage only, because it's a standalone device that you can play without using the internet. My PS Portal, just being able to play fully fledged PS5 quality games without having to turn my PS5 on, and the fact that because it's directly streaming from essentially what's happening is it's streaming from a PS5, not a Pro, but a 5 on Sony servers, is I get a lot less lag. So I played a good 20 hours of Arc Raiders just on my PS Portal. It means I can access my video games more often than I normally can, because my TV in my house that I play my games on is the only TV that gets used a lot by the kids, especially over the holidays when they're watching films and things and playing games. So I also love the fact that because my son signs in under his username on the PlayStation 5, I couldn't remote play to my PlayStation 5 when he was using it. But now that I can sign in under my name on my portal and my son signs under his name on the PlayStation 5, we can both actually game at the same time in different rooms. So it's been a massive life changer. And as you said before, Bobby, the quality is so good now. It's standalone quality. The only caveat with that is you do need to have the PS Plus Premium subscription to use that service. You have to pay the £120 a year, where you can get good deals around Black Friday and Christmas. And the other caveat is, up until they release that update, not any games before that update that hadn't been compatible, you can't stream. There are some you can from the before times. There are some you can't. But I think Sony has now made a stipulation of all new games that you can stream them directly. The other cool thing is, if you run out of space on your PlayStation 5, you can stream them directly on the PlayStation 5 too, which I've used, and you can't even notice a difference. It's so good. You know, you need a good connection, obviously, but there you go. Yeah, so there's my two bits of tech, and I love it. Honourable mention to my Anchor sleep earbuds that I use every night as well, because they have been a lifesaver for my sleep through a snoring of other half. And she probably needs a pair too, to be honest.
Me too. Although not for the snoring. I just watch YouTube in bed, and it's just good because I can just lie down and I can't feel them. Whereas these ones, the new Soundcore, I can't remember which ones they are, but they're basically the new earbuds for Soundcore. Yeah, they're the new ones. They're very nice. They were on offer, and it's like 50 quid or something. It's ridiculously cheap. And the quality on them is great. So it's moved me completely away from Samsung Buds. Totally. I just don't use them anymore.
My tech disappointment of the year has been my car. You may have seen my video where my car got towed away back in June, and every month from June until now, Nissan UK have said to me, there's a part on order from Japan, we'll fix it in 2 weeks. And they're still telling me that now. They're saying it will be fixed in a couple of weeks in January. I have had a letter from my financial company saying we haven't responded quickly enough to your formal complaint, so you now may go and speak to the financial ombudsman. But that's where I am now. They've lent me a car. I had a hire car from them for 5 months, which cost them about nearly £5,000 in hire fees. And I spoke to one of the mechanics at Nissan, my local Nissan, who said, and I quote, "I've worked for Nissan for 8 years, and Nissan have only ever loaned a car out directly from head office 3 times." Which tells me that there's a real problem. And they have also said to me that they do not replace, they always fix. Well, how long does that take? How long is it? A year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? So I'm in this limbo where we now have a replacement or exact model replacement of our car, which we're using, which is nice. So we've actually got a cash card now. But I want my car back that I'm paying for. And I am massively disappointed with Nissan, and I will be going to the financial ombudsman, and I'll be going to the media. So Watchdog and Southeast BBC about this. That's my next step in the new year. So watch this space.
It's hugely unusual, isn't it? Because it's not the kind of there's always excuses, and there's always bad experiences that Bobby's had
every month for the last 6 months.
But there's no excuse for that.
No.
Yeah, sorry about that, John.
It's very depressing.
Let's try and end on a high. We'll keep this one really quick. One thing, and it can be across all of those categories we talked about, that you're really looking forward to in 2026, you can't wait for, Alex?
Possibly there will be an unboxing as well. We've got a new robot vacuum.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, so it's a narwhal,
I've heard about that.
Frio Z, and
Is that a
it's
Black Friday buy, Alex?
it was a Black Friday buy.
Yeah,
It
that's what
was
I'm
it was
saying.
on offer, and I buckled. And yeah, I mean, I've literally haven't unboxed it, but we're going to have to give that a go and see what that's like. So yeah, that's quite exciting. I'm quite looking forward to that one.
Awesome. John?
For me, I'm the one thing I'm most excited about next year is the release of Dune 3 Messiah. I am very vibrating about that. I love the Dune films. So that's my thing. I'm looking forward to that. I know it's been filmed already. I know, 'cause
You've
Chalamet-
read the books though, right?
Yeah, all of them. Every single one.
Yeah.
Even the-
So you'll love it.
I know what's happening. Sorry?
Bobby might not know what's happening, but no, I've read all the books as well,
Yeah.
and I love them too, and I am looking forward to it. But it gets nuts.
I'm going to be interested to see Bobby's reaction to Dune Messiah. I have to say, really,
Yeah.
really interested.
Okay.
So if you've not
Cool.
read the books, that's cryptic. But if you've read the books, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. What am I looking forward to in 2026? To be honest, I've not had a chance to really kind of look at what's really coming in 2026, but I guess I'm going to go on Alex. I'm going to ride on. No, actually, do you know what? That's the thing I'm not actually looking forward to, because I think we're kind of at peak
We are
iPhone.
Bobby,
I think I've got a
there's rumours
feeling that.
of a late 2025, possible late 2026, possible early 2027 Apple glasses, like Meta glasses release.
Right.
That's quite exciting too.
Yeah, but it's not concrete, so I can't get excited about rumours because I'm getting old and grumpy.
Certainly
But
are.
do you know what? I'll tell you what I am looking forward to in 2026. I did get the DJI Neo 2 drone for Christmas. Thank you to my wife. I haven't unboxed it yet. I'm looking at my schedule between now and New Year's. I don't think I'm going to get a chance, and I really want to unbox it properly, read the instructions and learn it before I go out there and start using it. But I'm really, really looking forward to creating some amazing content with it. I need to do now that the Ioniq 6 is fixed and it's been reset and all the rest of it. It's actually, spoiler alert, quite a wonderful car. So I want to do a full review on that. I need to do finally a proper full review on the M2. And we're going to be probably partnering with Bentley in the new year as well, on the business side of things. But that hopefully will bleed into Tailoring Talk Magazine to the motoring section, because I'm hoping to get my hands on one or two of those amazing cars. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to adding a new dimension to the content that we create for the channel next year. So
Bobby,
that's going to be really, really cool.
To track objects, can it follow you in your car so it flies over?
Yeah, yeah, it can. Yeah, you can set it to follow you when you're running, cycling, whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I think the car stuff I'm going to need to be quite careful. That's going to probably be more towards when the mornings start getting earlier, so that I can go to some roads where they're completely clear and not have to deal with other people. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to have fun exploring. This is a brand new thing. I've never used one of these things before, so this is very exciting for me.
I am also looking forward to us meeting up at some point next year. We haven't done that for
Yes.
all three of us.
That'd be nice.
Cool, but unless you two have turned into androids and I didn't know about it, that's not tech. So, but no, we haven't been able to meet up, all three of us, this year, and hopefully we can bang a date in the diary to do that. Cool. Thank you, guys. So that pretty much brings us to the end of our year-end special. That's 2025 wrapped. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. And honestly, the support this year from our subscribers has been absolutely incredible. Whether you've been with us since the early days when we were podcast only, or you've only just found the channel, thanks to every single one of you. Please do not forget to join in the conversation on YouTube in the comments. Let us know your favourite movies, shows, games and tech from this year. We genuinely do read every single comment, despite Jon and Alex telling me not to. And we do reply to everybody. We do reply to everybody as well, so trolls, bring it on. You can also connect with us on Instagram at Tailoring Talk Magazine. And if you haven't already, please drop a like, subscribe, hype the channel. It really, really does help us to keep doing what we're doing, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Thank you again for all the support this past year. We do not take it for granted, and we're very excited about what's coming in 2026. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Do you know what? Actually, weirdly, that's your best bye-bye yet, because you always screw it up, both of you.
What do you mean? We take at the same time, or we wait too long, or?
I don't know, you just came in on time, both of you, didn't cross over each other. There wasn't that long delay where I had to prompt you by throwing my hands up.
2026
in
is
the
the
air.
year we're in tune. And honestly, mate, I could have been a much looser cannon in that podcast than I was. Yeah. I think you got off lightly, to be honest. Because I've had
Okay,
3 coffees
thanks.
this morning and I'm on it.
Do you know what, John? This is for you.
That was the funniest moment when you just kept tapping over Alex. So poor Alex. He gets so much grief when he comes on. No wonder he's been off the podcast for so long.
It's like that moment in Die Hard when it's like, now I have a gun or something, right? Now I have sound effects. Yeah, exactly.